screens and services reflect what they provide over in the full branch. And as far as I'm concerned, they're very poor. Excuses about training don't apply, because what our girls do here is what the staff in Mundubba will have to do as well. So what they've done to us is essentially to try and cut off the bleeding limb. They've accidentally taken their arm as well. They won't listen unless there is a large volume of people. We need numbers, and we need it now. Quite often when we're asking for community input, people feel like they're not articulate enough, they don't have a big enough voice, they don't know what to put in their letters, they don't know what to say on the phone. There is a perception that they're not big enough or important enough to put their complaint forward. That's bullshit. At this point in time, we need every single person in this community, whether you have a PhD or you're just Joe Blow down the streets. We need your numbers, and we need your voices and your explanations as to why this is going to impact you on a personal level and our community as a large whole community that it is. Because I'm struggling to find a person in the room who does not currently or have sat on a volunteer organisation within this community, and that's the part that gives me the shits the most. So while this is very personal, not only for my business, but for my staff, it's going to be a rough couple of months, and I would really appreciate your support. Yeah, because it's going to be a big change in our community if we don't have those facilities. What we're going to be able to do here, imagine everything you do in the next week, because really that's sort of all we've got for this window. Imagine what you'd be doing if you didn't have the bank here. Our cricket day, that is next weekend. Where do we get our float? Where do we rebank our cash? You have the camel races in Wandalman. You've got a lot of money at these events because we're really strong communities out here, and we support each other and everybody gets in. It's not going to be safe for those committees to carry cash on their persons and try and find a volunteer, because we don't get paid, to go to Roma, to drive to Chinchilla, to hold that much cash on their persons. Nobody will insure you to do that. Then when our events come around, if we don't have the cash and we don't have the FPOS facility, there are no other options. So this not only affects you on an individual level, whether you can go in and do your personal banking, whether you can go in and check the fraud on your card, but this will have a big flow-on effect in your community. And I think just, have a think about what life would be like as a whole, not just for us as an individual. I really am disgusted by the thought of our most vulnerable people in our community not being able to access safe banking, not just physically being able to get into the post office, but we stop multiple issues of fraud and people being taken advantage of in our local community every week. This is not a one-off Joe Blogs. This is at least 2 to 3 people every single week that are all different, who are business owners, that are being paid, being defrauded, being absolutely given a rough ride, and we are there to help stop that. There's just so many things that we are able to provide as a service to this town, and I just, we've invested our lives in this place, guys, and we really need to keep it going. Otherwise, what are our kids coming into? That's simply what it comes down to. Anyway, enough from me.